Heyo! Welcome to the
Heyo.
Trash Picture Show, or should I say, welcome to the Horror Hangout crew, because I have the privilege of hosting these awesome people on my channel this evening. And this evening, we're going to be discussing sci-fi horror. But before we continue proceedings, I'm going to introduce you to the fantastic Jen and Christian from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, the always awesome and always fantastic collaborator of mine, Ethel Cross, the super cool and legend that is Sean Erskine, an absolute rock star of the horror community, Monty G. So tonight we are talking about sci-fi horror. And my first question to the panel is, why does sci-fi and horror work so well together? So, Jen, Christian, why do you think sci-fi and horror work so well together?
I think sci-fi and horror work very well together because we're going into the unknown, and sci-fi is a lot about the unknown, and that's always scary, that's always terrifying, and so when you add those two together in a pot, when you have the right cook at it, you can have some really good results. And I think that's right. It's just the curiosity of the unknown, and that's something that both horror and sci-fi have
very
in
much
common.
handle with. Yeah.
What about you?
Pretty much the same thing you said. Yeah, it's just fear of the unknown. That just the thing just out. Sci-fi is all about like fear of the unknown and the horrors of science, whereas horror is like that thing just out of the corner that you can't see. And if you really break it down, they're very similar concepts. So,
Yeah.
The dangers of the voyage of discovery, like Hey, for example, probably one of the greatest horror stories was a sci-fi story, and it's a classic. It's a tale of a postmodern Prometheus, or as we know it better today, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That's a fantastic story. That kicks arse. Like again, it's, as you said, Jen, it's the voyage of discovery. It's looking into the void of, be it science or space or technology or what tomorrow holds, and that's fucking scary as all. It's like we can think about like monsters and myth and lore and stuff, but it's what's tangible and what's possible, I think, is the scariest element in that as well. Ethel, why do you think sci-fi and horror work so well together?
Well, I mean, they've always had that close relationship and sort of bleed over, because like you had Frankenstein, which that's firmly science fiction, but it's also firmly horror,
Right.
And I think the other great thing about it is science fiction always lends this kind of realism to things, even though it could be the most outlandish, crazy idea, because you've got that element that is somewhat scientific, somewhat based on things that are in reality. It can make it more terrifying, and like you guys were saying, the fear of the unknown. What can be scarier than something you don't know about?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That encompasses us fantastically. Like, Sean, why do you think horror and sci-fi work so well together?
Because me personally, I feel like in sci-fi, there's always some kind of major threat and some kind of major danger, and I always feel like that could easily be twisted to be horror. Like you could take a character like Darth Vader even and make him, he could be a horror villain if you focus on his evil a little more. He could easily be,
True.
Yeah,
You could just
like
take
the
any-
end of Rogue One, where he kills all the Republican soldiers. That was like
Yeah,
Jason Voorhees would
right.
do. Just he goes pure slasher on him. Sorry, I could have crossed you. One.
But yeah, and like Ethel was saying, these monsters that are created from science, and the monster part of it is the horror aspect, can be the horror aspect too,
Yeah. No, it's again, it's just they work. They're like peanut butter and jelly. They go together so well. Monty, why do you think horror and sci-fi kind of complement each other so well?
I think it's mainly the two elements of the stories. When you combine science fiction, just like with Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster, and you take the horror of it all, you have this scientist, Dr. Frankenstein. He wants to prove that he can create life, so he goes and robs the graves and sews this guys together. And and a lightning storm comes, and you have this creature who comes back to life, but everyone fears it because they don't understand it. Or even the monsters of the 50s, where you have science fiction, you have the giant Gila monster, or the attack of the praying mantis, and of course, obviously, you have one of the best sci-fi horror films, Alien. You have this spaceship out in space. They go and you get this alien life form, and it kills people, and it's scary. I mean, you have the two elements of science fiction and horror. You bring them together, you can come up with some fantastic stories, to amaze you with the science as you see it, but also scare the crap out of you also with the horror that comes with it as well. Because, sometimes, some people just don't understand. You just don't mess with Mother Nature. Because they'll come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Ethel will probably want to chime into this, but I think the as you were saying, Monty, the 50s, the kind of B movies of the 50s, well, obviously Godzilla. Although Godzilla is obviously more of a kaiju monster movie, but there is horrific elements, and I think the fear of the atomic bomb really, like Ethel, you can probably think of a bunch of titles where like the fear of nuclear energy is a catalyst for different creatures and stuff. Is there like is
Oh yeah,
Oh.
like
so
you
sorry.
got like oh no, am I delayed? Sorry about that. But like no, you got movies like The Day the Earth Stood Still, which that's definitely has to do with nuclear. That's got its horror elements, even though that's more of a science fiction than a science fiction horror. But you've got all sorts of different bleed overs with that. You've got Space Children. That's about an alien that comes down to Earth, and it mind controls the children and gives them telekinetic abilities, and they have to stop the launching of this advanced nuclear missile. Like,
Yeah.
if you guys have seen
Again,
that
the
one,
50s
that's like
were right.
1962 or
I think it was
63, something
1960
like that.
something.
There's Uncle Fletcher in it.
So it sounds like similar to the original Village of the Damned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very like it. But segueing away from that, and going back to, as Monty was saying, Alien. Jen, Christian, I'm going to ask everyone what their favorite moments from the Alien franchise was. Jen, Christian, what's your favorite moments from the Alien franchise?
For me, the Aliens franchises, I've gone on record saying I'm not the super big fan. Like, I like it, I respect it. It's not one of my favorites. But I do respect it. And in the original Alien, I like the design. The design. Yeah, the design. I mean, it's basically penis heads.
It's a giant penis.
And of course, that's going to be Jen's answer. But also, I like Sigourney Weaver, and I like with Nick. I really like that dynamic.
From Aliens.
Yes, I do, and I also like the one with Red.
Resurrection.
I like it because he goes.
Of course
so
you would.
Yeah, of course I would. Of course I
He's
would.
on the list.
Yeah, for me that would be the thing. I like how manic his performance is. The movie's not particularly good, but the performance.
What you talking about?
But those are like some of mine, and of course, like the most iconic, the ones that I like the most is Get Away From Her, You Bitch, because the mother aspect of it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's very much a even though it's set in space, it's a very human story, even though it's an alien type thing. Help me out here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one correct answer to this question. There's one crucial scene from the franchise that I feel everyone will agree on is the most influential and important of them. And that's Sigourney Weaver shooting a basketball in a hoop without even looking. That scene's awesome. I love the clone of Sigourney Weaver just playing basketball in space. That's beautiful right there, man. That's high art right there, man. That's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
That's a three-pointer.
It was a
Yep, 3-pointer, right? What are you looking at there? It's awesome.
Jen, you're going to have to put Christian up for adoption, or we can't continue. We can't continue on.
I've got Jake. Seriously,
you got to spare.
That honestly is one of my favorite scenes. For like, I kind of do love that scene. I especially like the background of it because.
Christian, she actually got that. She did that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised when I heard about the fact that she actually did that shot and they only did it in one take.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
no, I mean, like, as cliche as it probably is, for my actual favorite scene is probably just the dinner scene from the original Aliens, because the chest burster is just like, it's the scene builds tension so goddamn well, and all the actors bring a lot of charisma to their roles and all that, and then you just have the sudden jump scare of the chest burster just coming out of absolutely nowhere, and I really love it.
Like,
It's a
none
great
of the
jump scare.
actors, bar John Hurt, none of the actors knew what was going to happen.
I know, and it brings
That's right,
it's
yeah.
even better.
More
Yeah,
I
authentic.
know, it's so good.
Because Veronica Cartwright didn't know that the blood was going to come out, and when that blood squirts out, that's her real reaction because you didn't know the blood squirt was coming out. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Did you, Monty? Did you see the B-roll of that? She literally slipped on the blood, kind of retreating backwards in the fright, and you can see her cowboy boots going into the air as she falls backwards. But Ethel, what is your favorite scene in any of the Alien franchise?
Well, I mean, as far as the first one goes, I really like it when they're exploring that ship, and like they're going through and you're seeing all the crazy and Geiger set designs, and like then you got the jockey, the space jockey, and it's like it's a freaking giant. It's like, I don't know, I always thought that was cool. And then you got all that business with the egg and it opening up, like, I don't know, always all good stuff. And like, of course, honorable mentions. Got to mention it. Sigourney Weaver in the baggy fucking panties at the end. That's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I get you.
Her
I feel that
bum
one.
running out. What about yourself, Sean?
Oh man, it's so hard to pick one. I'll go with the dinner scene. I mean, it's just iconic. It's horrifying. And the effects are amazing for that time, especially. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Again, John Hurt was laughing because, like, apparently he was sharing a cigarette with the guy who was puppeting the cigarette. Is it coming up, Ron? Is it coming up? But yeah, no. It's a classic scene, and it's so visceral. But there's great things if you rewatch it. Like if you look at Ash, the character Ash, and he's watching Kane, and he's like, okay, well, this guy's really fucking hungry. I'm wondering is this a side effect?
Yeah.
Monty,
bad,
what
man.
about you?
I'm going to go with obviously not the dinner scene. I'm actually going to go when we find out that Ash is not really a human being. He's a robot. Ash is a robot. Ash is a goddamn robot.
That's a goddamn robot.
Because that scene fooled me when I went to see it. It fooled everybody because no one knew he was a robot. Because like, what's he doing trying to kill Sigourney Weaver? We knew something wasn't right about him. Just the fact that he let the alien get on board when they're not supposed to until they clear quarantine. They let him in anyway, and then we find out that he was part of the company. He was part of the company, and the fact that they wanted them for their weapons division, and the crew was expendable.
Yep.
Yeah. It's again. It's one of those things. If you look back at it, you're like, oh, okay, it makes sense now because like there's a scene where Ash looks around, and then he goes into the supersonic kind of run while no one's looking, and it's just it's really Ian Holm does such a good job.
Find out.
And like it's one of the it's probably one of the kind of the kind of benchmarks in sci-fi horror. Everything that else I think that came after was
We
trying to
find out that
replicate Oh, sorry, Ethel. Oh, sorry. I think there's a bit of a delay.
Just a little bit.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So next question going on about Alien. The next question I'm going to ask is,
I was just going to add that it's also terrifying. Damn, that always happens.
No, go
But
go for that.
I won't.
One.
Oh dear.
Oh, there's a bit of lag.
Massive
All right.
lag, yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit of one.
Oh, geez, I'm that delayed. No, I was just going to say it was equally terrifying when we find out that is full of fucking milk and anal beads and like.
Okay. Ethel, do you want to try coming out and going out and coming back in again? Because I think it might. I think there's a bit of a lag issue going on. Sorry about that. But yeah.
Sup, full moon?
Yo Moon, yo Jason, yo Campbell.
Hey, everyone.
What's up, Jason?
Hey guys, also shout out to everyone in the chat. I should have said
Yeah.
Jason, Sadie, DMC Campbell. Hey, how's everyone getting on? Well, while we're still on the topic Alien, I'm going to start with Sean actually. Fantasy face-off, Xenomorph versus the Thing. Who would win
Oh,
and
man.
why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's interesting because if you think about it, the alien does kind of have like hunting skills and knows how to hide and kind of blend into the background like a chameleon almost, like, and he just pops out at you. But I have to say, I think overall the Thing is more powerful. Especially in the end when he's like this gigantic monster, once that they do the blood test and he's like, oh, and you see the dog on his head.
Yeah.
I'd say
Wilford
the
Brimley
Thing in
Page.
its huge monster form against one alien. I'd have to go with the Thing.
Yeah.
What about Queen? Alien Queen, if it was against an Alien Queen.
That's a better matchup, yeah.
That it would. I don't think it'd be able to assimilate a xenomorph. I don't think the Thing could, because its blood is acidic. One Monty, why?
I don't think so. If we are correct on the biology of what the Thing is, if it can assimilate anything, it should even assimilate the alien's acidic blood.
True.
Yeah, you make a good point.
Yeah, it should because
Interesting.
because if you understand its physiology, it basically takes the cells of what it does and replicates it. So if it can replicate human blood cells, it should be able to replicate the blood cells of the alien creature. So that way it can mimic him. So it would also have acidic blood as well.
The thing is, it would have to literally go
Science!
through the bloodstream.
Science!
Yeah, but it would be broken down before it would actually
Just
get enough
blinding
time
me.
to actually assimilate the cells.
It's poetry in motion, really.
That just came to my head, not the song, but just me saying science.
That
So
wins
does-
any argument.
But Ethel, what do you think? Who'd win in a fight between the Thing or Xenomorph?
Probably the Thing. Like, I like the Xenomorph and all, but like the Thing, it's like Monty was saying, it replicates, so it could replicate everything about the alien, even its resistance to its own blood. So,
Christian, what do you think? Who'd win the fight?
What do you think?
I mean, considering my shirt and little ceramic thing, a Thing easily, like Monty said, it can assimilate, so it would inherently get the immunity to the alien's acidic blood, and that's its main way to kill things. If the thing can survive a flamethrower, but xenomorphs usually can't, I'm gonna give it the thing. I'm gonna give it to the thing, honestly.
Yeah, as much as I hate to agree with the boy, he does.
Okay, screw Christian, I guess.
Not agreeing so much with you, agreeing with Ethel and Monty. No, I kind of agree because I would think it can replicate. It can replicate the blood thing, and it makes sense. And like Monty said, science. So I'm gonna go with the thing. I'm gonna keep going with this answer. Oh,
Clean sweep, clean sweep.
See, you hurt Sparky's feelings.
oh, come here. Oh,
No.
I'll give you a candy bar later.
Yeah, no. The only way I could see if it was the case, the thing could absorb into a human that had been implanted with a chest burster and assimilate while it's still in the gestating form, possibly. But I just can't see it assimilating the blood. Well, yeah, no, it's an interesting kind of debate and topic, like. Yeah. But yeah, what was next on the agenda? Terminator. Is it a slasher movie?
Yes. Yes, it's a slasher movie. Damn it.
Is Terminator a slasher movie?
Yes.
Me?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Sean.
Not completely to me.
I'm with Sean.
To me, it's equal parts sci-fi, action, and horror. All three. It's got all three in there. You got all the crazy action scenes with the wild car chases. You know, when he's on the motorcycle, or when he's chasing him earlier when he's in the cop car, stealing the cop. That's classic action stuff. And it's not, and it certainly has elements of the slasher, but I think it's horror in general more, where you got that classic horror score, that great bleak, dark future. It's such a dark film. There's certainly elements of it, but I wouldn't just go say it's a slasher. It's more than that.
Ethel, would you say Terminator is a slasher sci-fi?
I would put it in the category of science fiction horror more than slasher. Because like I always think of a slasher as just like you've got this person or this mutated person, this entity, whatever, what have you. You know, you've got your antagonist, and they're just going around killing anybody just because that's what they do. Terminator is killing on a specific mission. He's only killing certain people or people that are going to accomplish his mission, you know? So like it's got that, but it definitely has horror elements to it. I mean, it's a metal skeleton from the future that's trying to kill you. I mean, there's no more terrifying than a giant metal skeleton. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monty,
So,
your thoughts?
I guess partially a slasher, I guess. I don't know.
The Terminator is not a slasher film. It's not a slasher film. It is not a psychomaniac, not a disfigured person. There's no kids or teenagers involved. It's just one robot exoskeleton sent back from the future to kill Sarah Connor. And unfortunately, it didn't have all the records, so it killed two of the Sarah Connors. It was trying to kill the other Sarah Connors left, but unfortunately, the police went, so it killed them. But no, it has some elements of heart in it. But it's basically, just like Sean said, it's just a sci-fi action film. It is not a slasher film.
Okay. Jen, what do you think?
I think you're all wrong. Little Jen has always looked at this movie as a romance movie, honestly. I'm not being funny either. I'm being serious.
This is true.
Yeah, like I've always
It
looked at
has
like
some romance.
Yeah, some romance in it.
Yeah,
it does, but
that's why Jim
to
Cameron
me-
remade it into Titanic.
True.
Very true. But like seriously, like I've always looked at it because he comes across time for her, and I think that is so like. And they only have such a short time together, but like she says that they have more together than some people have in a lifetime. So as a little girl and as a woman, I always look as this. Oh, it's a romance, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's killing people. That's cool, and telling everyone he'll be back. But mostly, to me, it's a romance. You all are wrong.
He's a real heartbreaker, that Terminator.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Literally punching holes through guys' chests. Sparky, your thoughts?
Well, I expected to not be the odd man out here, but yeah, Terminator is a slasher movie. It's a story about an unstoppable killing machine hunting down a single woman, basically our final girl, in order to kill her, and he will not let anything stop him from doing that. If you break it down in a lot of ways, it's basically a Friday the 13th film. You could transplant Jason in the film, and you wouldn't really lose that much from it. It's a sci-fi film first. But then as a subgenre, I would say it's a slasher film.
Yeah.
More Friday the 13th Part 8. I would say something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's about as far as I would take it.
As somebody who's recently discovered they really like Part 8, I will agree with you.
What, you like Part 8?
Terminator didn't end up on a ferry.
Yes, like the Friday 13th stream we did with Marty a while back. I rewatched the whole series. I really like Part 8. I think it's kind of underappreciated.
I would say so because drowning Jason in acid water. He becomes
That
a kid.
part sucks. I'm not saying it's a great film. I'm saying I think it's underappreciated. It has some good bits in it. There are still some major issues with that movie.
I would say Jason ended up looking like a puppet by the end of that movie, but it might give Jenny more ideas to watch for fucking puppet porn.
What was up with that?
I was gonna say, you know about puppets, Marty.
Yeah, you're an expert. You're a puppet. You're a regular Henson.
Yeah.
You're like a student of Henson at this point.
No. If Marty can create those paper puppets from Candyman, I'll give. Then he will be saying something.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
Marty, do you think it's a sci-fi or do you think it's a slasher?
I'm with Christian. It's
Thank you.
got its roots in sci-fi, but there's definitely like slasher elements. There's like just being stalked and just this unstoppable killer, and you could transpose Michael Myers or Jason into it. But yeah, primarily it is a sci-fi. Primarily, it's about fucking 70% sci-fi and about 30% slasher. That's the way I look at it. There's definitely horror elements in it, but it's an interesting debate because I've come onto panels and I've come onto streams where people have debated this, and it's still
Well, at
it's
least
still
somebody
like a topic.
somebody in the chat agrees with you, Christian.
Thank you. It's not a perfect film, but damn it, it's fun. Got some good bits.
So
There's definitely horror in it. So.
Well, Sean, I'll let you kind of headline this about body horror. Like, why do you think body horror works so well, and what's your favorite moments in body horror sci-fi? What's your favorite body horror sci-fi movie, in fact, and why?
Favorite body horror. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978.
That's a
Yeah.
great one.
Remake.
Oh.
The Pod People. Pod People. It's really freaky. It's just the idea of like these aliens that have no emotion whatsoever, and the idea that they're trying to replicate you, and when you fall asleep, you're so vulnerable. Anything can happen, and that's while you're sleeping. That's when it clones you, and it's so freaky. Like the one part where Donald Sutherland falls asleep, and when he wakes up, he sees his clone there, like in the process still of morphing into him, and he just like hacks it up. It's awesome.
The
I don't know. It's just like a real weirdness. It's and if you watch like Cronenberg type movies, he throws in the sexual elements and win with the weirdness and the
Sean, there was one scene I always remember, and I was wondering, did they pilfer the idea from Friday the 13th Part 2, where Donald Sutherland crushes 2 pods that's left next to a homeless guy and his dog, and obviously whatever's in the pod mixes, and then Veronica Cartwright is trying to sneak in past the kind of the cordon, and then the dog walks up and it's got the hobo's face, and I'm like,
Mhm.
Elm Street too.
that reminds me
Elm
of
Street too. Yeah.
with the dog heads. Ethel, when it comes to sci-fi horror, why does body horror work so well with it? And what do you think is the best body horror sci-fi movie?
Well, I think what works well about it is like nobody wants to become disfigured. Nobody wants to have like something gross and nasty happen to their bodies. Nobody wants to have themselves be replaced and taken over by some creature, you know? I think it works great on that level because like subconsciously we all fear getting like horribly mangled or injured or replaced even in some categories. And for favorite body horror, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with From Beyond. I'm gonna go with From Beyond.
Good choice.
Oh yes, nice.
That's a great movie. the pineal gland. It's a tiny dick. It's a tiny dick, people. Let's just say what it is.
I was waiting for Jen to say that.
Marty beat
They're
me.
rubbing off on each other.
Which is appropriate, dicks, you know.
I just love to say the resonator. The resonator machine.
Had you any favorite scene in From Beyond, Ethel?
I will. Aside from the lunch counter where he's like, well, what about the hard-ons? I love that scene. It's pretty funny. But I like the scene at the end where the doctor's like completely morphing and he's getting all like gross and slimy and gangly. And I don't know. I like that scene.
Yeah. Great scene.
Monty, why do you think body horror works so well in sci-fi horror?
It's just like Ethel said. Nobody wants to be disfigured or mangled up or looking gross. It's just one of the fears of when you're a human being. You all want to look normal. When you see something that doesn't look normal, you're just like, what the hell? Man, that looks, man. And that just grosses people out. And I think it's one of the reasons why body horror works so well is because when we see disfigurements in other people, especially during the early 50s when the freak shows were out. I mean, take a look at American Horror Story Freak Show. I mean, that right there, some of the stuff they were doing right there, just gross you out because we weren't used to seeing that at that time. You know, a 6 foot, 7 foot tall woman, or a bearded lady, or a little girl, or a small person now, what we call them now. Yeah, we just don't see that. We just didn't see that then, and then that's the reason why body horror works so well. And one of my favorite body horror films is one of David Cronenberg's beginning films of the 70s, The Brood, because that was you want to see something disgusting looking, that was that.
Love that movie.
The mother.
Yeah, no, that fucking kicks ass. That creeps me the fuck out as well. The weird kind of little babies, toddlers.
Yeah, no, yeah.
They're cute.
Dwarf creatures, yeah.
Jen, Christian, why do you think body horror works in sci-fi, and what's your favorite body horror sci-fi movies?
I'm going to go with what Ethel and Ronnie said, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit. Yeah, no one wants to be disfigured, and that's a part of it. But I also think it's another fear that we all of aging, because basically, body horror kind of represents it. Eventually, our bodies aren't going to work like they work now, and as you get older, things hurt more. You can't do like you used to, and we all know we have to face it someday. But it's very scary, and I think the uncontrollability of your body and not being able to do what you once could do so easily without even thinking about it is a very scary. What?
You're not going to say Cocoon, are you?
No, I wasn't going to say Cocoon. I'm just saying, but I think that's another reason why body
That
horror
probably
works
counts
so well.
too.
Is because we don't have as much control over our bodies as we think we do, or at least we don't have as much control as not for the whole time.
Yeah.
And you wake up and everything's great, and then one day you wake up and you can't do things that you used to do, and that's a scary prospect. And I think that really hits home with it. As for a favorite film, I'm going to go with a cliche answer, and it's a Cronenberg answer, but it's a good one, and that would be The Fly. Oh God, The Fly. Oh, I hate it. Stop it! I hate The Fly, and when he's eating the donut.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
what I mean.
Yeah, you knew, huh?
Yeah, I know that's the scene that always gets you.
Yeah, that's the scene that always gets me. But yeah, it's just the unknown and not being able to have our bodies for as long as we want. I think that's a very scary prospect.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I mean, Tix, as all of you have basically said, yeah, it's definitely a fear of getting mangled or something. But you can also even expand it even more of the fear of not being in the right body or something. You could even do that. Cronenberg does this constantly. Look at stuff like he did, which is what I'll probably talk about. Is Videodrome is my favorite of his films.
Oh yeah.
Just look at that. Like even you can look at it from so many aspects of what it was talking about with society, what it was talking about with like how cable and media controlled people, and you can even look at it from a modern lens of like a transgender aspect. Because at the end of that movie, you got a goddamn guy with a big VCR chest vagina. It's awesome. Gotta love chest vagina.
Where exactly was it clit?
It does have one. It's the play button. I've said this. I've said this many times. I don't know if I'm ever going to do it, but it is a dream to do that for a Halloween costume with a working VCR in my chest.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
If it were going to be any button at all, it would be the play button, wouldn't it?
It would be the play button.
Yeah.
Yep.
Play me.
I have one that I don't think many people have seen. It's a Japanese movie that came out in the 80s. It's called Tetsuo the Body Hammer.
Oh my God!
I
Yes.
highly recommend you check that movie out.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it, but I
adore the Tetsuo films.
It's a dude. He's slowly changing into. He's becoming more machine, but he seems to be helping the process along by stuffing like pipes and mechanics and pieces of fucking soldering iron into his arm and into his body and into his stomach. It's a hard watch, but it's kind of cool, and it's like. Do you know how I describe it? If David Cronenberg done Guyver, that's the best way I can describe it. If David Cronenberg had done Guyver. But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. And yeah, isn't
that the same guy that did the Tokyo Gore Police?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought that was him.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's a classic.
One thing I think with body horror as well. It's like if you look at Alan Matt George's Society, it's like it's you're an outsider, and you're made even more of an outsider because of metaphysical changes. It's not obviously not a horror, but I think District 13 does. Is it District 13 or District 10?
District 9?
District 9?
District 9. District 9, where Shelter Copley is turning into the prawn. And you have this thing at the start of the movie. He looks down on them. He sees them as pestilence. He sees them as and it's a metaphor for apartheid, and it's really cool. And he's lonesome. And then as the metamorphosis happens, he starts to realize, well, oh shit, I'm being treated like these things, and it's just Like you've been ousted from society because your body is changing, your body's
Yeah.
altered, and you've no control over it. It's like you're different, you've no control over it, and you're being punished as a result. That's what I like. Sorry, Ethel, did you want to chime in?
I just wanted to say, because you mentioned that other Japanese movie. There's a more classic a Japanese body horror film that maybe some of you have seen, Matango. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
Not seen that one. I gotta check it out.
I love the tango.
Basically, you got people turning into mushrooms.
Yep.
And like they go through this metamorphosis because they're eating these mushrooms on this island, and like there's fungus everywhere, and they're on this friggin' shipwrecked ship to like they're using it as a shelter, and like they think there are basically zombies coming aboard, but it's just people from the ship who are in the process of becoming mushrooms, and like it's a really great movie, very underrated, Toho classic.
Interesting.
Yep.
I gotta check it out. Yeah, no, just yeah, like you all make awesome points about like kind of the body horror aspect. It's terrifying, and I think sci-fi like does there's so many avenues to go with it when you look at like the likes of even Hollow Man, where
Yeah.
the character he's stuck, he can't change at will, or well, obviously the original Invisible Man, this character has now kind of doomed himself to being an outsider, and he can't control it. And he's disgusted with the way he appears or doesn't appear in that case. But yeah,
Definitely
So the next
Hellraiser,
topic.
of course, is a great.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hellraiser's more of a kind of fantasy aspect, but yeah, it does go to the same trope that you're mutilated and you're no longer part of what's considered a normal or apex kind of society. Well, actually, Sean, that's a good segue because I know you want to talk about this, and it's kind of gotten a hot and cold love-hate relationship, but Event Horizon, because I know you dig Event Horizon, I know you and Monty dig Event Horizon. What's your thoughts on Event Horizon and what makes it so good?
Oh, I think it's his like Hellraiser in space kind of. I think Queenie Todd said that once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, yes.
Mhm.
It's just so crazy. It's like because it starts out as like a typical kind of sci-fi alien type movie, then the further it goes, the sicker it gets, and the more twisted and
So,
the more brutal
Sean,
and
actually,
gory and
someone described it. I think it was either Sister and Ebert. One of them didn't like it. One of them did like it. One of them described it as The Shining meets Alien. Would you agree with that comparison?
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of that kind of claustrophobic feeling in the ship, you know.
Mhm.
And the characters kind of hallucinating about kind of horrific kind of things. Like one woman sees her child with lesions on their legs, and another person sees their crewmates being burnt to death. Yeah, there's a very kind of Kubrickian kind of style as well to the kind of violence. It's visceral and stuff. Monty, what's your take on Event Horizon? Why do you think so many people love it, and why do you think there's a lot of people who don't like it now? There's a lot of people who think it's like overhyped.
Yeah, it amazes me because I actually saw a video about them talking about Event Horizon, like what the F happened to this movie.
Yeah.
And it amazes me how well made the film is and how poorly it did in the box office, because when you take a look at it, it's a very decent, dark, violent film. You got some body aspects in the film. I actually like some of the technology that they use, a different way to travel in space. Then obviously we find out what really happened to the crew, and what's affecting them is that they're seeing their worst, darkest fears manifest in reality. You know, the scene where the kid actually goes out into space and they tells him to blow up, and that's very scene right there. I mean, it's such a great movie, and it's just sad that unfortunately didn't get the respect that it does. And I think now, since everyone really enjoys the film, it does get the respect it does. So I would love to see what of all the movies. I'd love to see it get a remake. I think Event Horizon should get a remake, and I think a lot of people would appreciate it too. Yeah, Frank. No, we have not mentioned Pandorum yet.
That's an awesome movie as well.
Yeah,
But
that's another.
Monty, do you know there's a longer cut, a more violent cut, but we'll
Yep.
never get to see it because the reels of that were left in a salt mine in Transylvania, and they ended up being destroyed
Yep.
for being
Yes,
left in the
sadly.
salt mine so long.
Yeah, because of that video, the video did talk about some of the scenes that they were filming that they had to cut out. Cut out because they kept going back to the MPAA.
MMPA.
MPAA, so they had to cut a lot of but it's a shame too because the film is decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll
Ethel,
never
what's
get
your
that
thoughts on the
extended.
Oh, go on, Ethel.
I just said we'll never get that extended edition that we all want.
No. Sadly.
Too bad.
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
What's your thought?
Tony?
What's your thoughts on the
Oh.
movie? What have you seen it? And you enjoy it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I have it. I love it. I remember seeing this. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it when it was playing on HBO, and I distinctly remember how it was received by people. Because like, I was in school one day. I was in class, and like we were talking about movies, and I'm like, oh, I really like that movie Event Horizon. And like one of my friends at the time straight up turned to me and he looked at me and he's like, that movie's for psychos. That was the end of it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're all psychos.
And I'm like, what? But I thought it was pretty good. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for
Better
the
than
weak
the
of
Dark House
mind.
movies.
Like,
Yeah, because they actually
Right.
had more scenes of them being in hell than we saw in the movie, but they had to cut half of that stuff out.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah,
20 minutes of
apparently it was
footage of hell.
Mm-hmm.
Insanely
I think
graphic.
they-
And I think there was a couple of longer scenes of like the blood orgy. Like
There was.
a guy
There was.
a guy getting sodomized by a pipe. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
do we really need
Yep.
that though?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we do.
Yes, we did. We needed that pipe.
That was crucial
It's-
to the story plot line.
we need to see every bit of it. Got to see every bit of it. I think if they were ever going to do something with that property, I think what they should do is if they're going to remake it, they need to do a crossover, and they actually have to put it in the Hellraiser hell dimension. Like bring them
I
together.
heard that.
Bring them
Why not?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bring them. Great.
I mean, Pinhead's already
Maybe Hellraiser
getting
4 is sci-fi horror, pretty much.
Pinhead's already been in space, so.
Yep. He's been to space. He's dead in space.
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 Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on the Event Horizon?
You go first.
I think the movie's great. Like even as somebody who sort of defends Hellraiser Bloodlines, I will freely admit this is a way better version of Hellraiser in space.
Yeah.
I really like the film. Like everyone gives a really good performance. Neil and Fishburne are fantastic in their roles, and the movie just has this very interesting feel to it and builds a really cool world. Like Monty, I think, said, I like the form of space travel they use. It's a little bit different than what we usually see. I really wish we could have seen more hell scenes, and god damn it, we needed a scene of a guy being sodomized by a pipe.
Yeah.
Not enough horror movies have people being sodomized by pipes.
You're sounding like your mother.
I'm very pro horror movies.
Laying the pipe.
Yeah. Yeah, I am very pro people getting sodomized by pipes in horror
Blood
movies. In
Blood
horror
lube?
movies, yes, just like Gerald's game, just like Gerald's game, blood lube.
Jesus Christ, Christian, don't get us sent to prison. That's all I'll say. Don't
Yeah,
get
please,
us sent to
please.
prison. And if you do,
Stay out
don't
of
tell
jail.
them that.
You can tell who's raised that boy.
Jen, what's your thoughts?
Like everybody else here, it's a really good movie. I don't understand the hate. Like, I legitimately don't understand why some people don't like this movie, because it was, especially for its time, it was very different and ahead of its time. And I don't understand people. Like, I always want to go, what's your problem, man?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. It was ahead of its time. Maybe people just weren't
Probably,
ready.
honestly.
Or maybe they're just not as demented as we are.
That's also a possibility.
That's true. There's really nothing else I can add.
I definitely feel like it's more respected and liked now than it was when it came out, though. It's
That's true.
got its
Yeah,
fun.
it is.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm going to start with Monty on this one. Monty, what do you think is the scariest robot in sci-fi or sci-fi horror?
That's a good question. Maybe, no, I don't think that. Maybe that what's that movie? The Saturn robot in Saturn? Wasn't that the robot?
Saturn 3.
Yeah, Saturn 3. Yeah, I had to go with that. Because the Terminator, he's not really scary, to be honest. He just brutal and mean. But if you want to talk about a scary robot, definitely the Saturn 3 robot. He's definitely scary.
That's the one was dubbed Harvey Keitel's brain, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember watching the movie. I was like, Harvey Keitel sounds strange. But Sean, what do you think's the scary fucking scary kind of terrifying horror sci-fi robot?
Oh, hands down, the Terminator for me. The original from 1984, of course. I feel like Arnold is just terrifying in that movie. I mean, you got this huge 275-pound, muscle-bound dude chasing you, and he's indestructible. I mean, no matter what you do to him, he keeps coming back. He's
Sarah Connor.
Machine guns, and it's crazy.
Sean, you know the scene in the gun store. I would love if someone reenacted that today, but in a Subway, in the fucking Subway sandwich shop. It's like pepper cheese, salami.
I will have five.
Oysters. Hey, buddy, just what we got. Just what we got.
Long cold cut combo, please.
I will have a $5 foot long. I hear this is a thing you have.
That's the display bread off the counter, and your man's like, "We can't do that, Rod." The guy over the head with the display bread.
Fucking baguette.
I'll have it.
Ethel, oh, sorry, Monty. What? Did you want to say something?
Oh no, I was going to imitate Arnold ordering a 5-foot-long hot dog and then smacking somebody's head with it.
Same.
Rod.
Right, go ahead, Ethel.
Ethel, the scariest robot you think is in sci-fi horror, or sci-fi?
I'm probably gonna go with the robot. Well, robot cyborgs, computer virus from the movie Virus.
Ooh, good one.
Oh,
Good one.
yeah.
Interesting.
You know, dicing up people for parts, man.
that and lots of people overlook that movie. It's an awesome movie.
I had no problem with it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Sci-fi horror picture.
Good one.
Very good.
Although Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't know, maybe it was Ethel or maybe it was Christian told me. I don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis apparently hates this movie. Like, if you ask her to sign a copy of it, she won't sign it.
Yep.
Because she detests it that much.
Yep.
Yeah, she gets unreasonably angry about it.
Jen, Christian, scariest robot, be it from regular sci-fi or sci-fi horror.
Uh-oh.
Well, that fucking short circuit robot, I fucking hate it. Who's Johnny? Who's Johnny?
God damn it! I was gonna do
God damn it! God damn it! That's stupid.
You
Hey,
don't like
Stephanie, nice software.
God damn it!
you don't like number
Do that.
you don't like number 5.
The song, Monty, the song. God, who's Johnny? God, I hated that song as a kid.
I was gonna do a whole bit about how I was terrified of Steve Gutenberg, and since he was made by Steve Gutenberg, automatically that one you ruined it. Damn it! God damn it!
Wait,
See,
is
Chad,
Johnny
yeah.
5 your legitimate pick?
See, you should have been born when I was born in '63. You would be old enough not to fall that crap.
Damn it! I'm legit a little mad about that.
All right, do your whole bit.
No, it's dead. It's gone. What's your actual answer?
That was my actual answer.
Jesus Christ.
That's
would you-
Johnny Five in my nightmares now.
Relationship dynamic after this.
See what you got yourself into, Marty.
Where's that drink? Where's that fucking drink?
Second time he said to drink was of me.
He calls it the "Let My Puppets Come" bottle. He calls it the puppet noir. Oh God. I guess since she stole my stupid answer, I'm gonna go with Maximilian from the Black Hole. I actually really like. I was always surprised watching that movie as a kid. Because I never heard about when I watched. I didn't even know it was a Disney film, and I was watching. I was like, this for a children's film is a weirdly intense robot. This is a weird this legit. You could transplant him into a slasher movie and it would totally fit. He's weirdly intense. I really like that, especially for a kid's film.
Yeah, no, I was surprised when I first saw that. This is a Disney film. This robot's killing people.
Yeah. Fucking murders people, man. Yeah.
I mean,
Anthony Perkins, the fucking Egypt tries to protect himself with a book.
Yep.
Only the bad people die in Disney films. Only the villains die in bad films, but not this poor robot just killing people. I said, man, I got Disney. I gotta rethink my things about Disney.
Exactly. Okay, a legit answer. I can't do that, Dave.
Oh, HAL 9000.
HAL 9000. That'll be my legit answer.
Oh, nice.
If I had to pick a favorite kind of scary killer robot or fucked up killer robot, Richard Stanley's hardware Mark 13. Mark 13 is a fucked up machine. It is designed in every aspect to eradicate human beings, whether it's cutting them up, burning them up, trying to rape Stacey Travis with its drill dick.
Yep.
It does not like humans one bit. Basically, this character, it's set during World War III. This character comes back from a Christmas armistice and he gets his friend, who's a sculptor, parts from this robot he finds out in the desert. And, he gets it off a guy who finds parts out in the desert. And she puts it together into an art piece. And it ends up uploading to the mainframe in her apartment building, locking her in the building, and then reassembling itself and trying to kill her. If you haven't seen fucking hardware, it is awesome.
It is
Monty,
great.
have you seen it?
I gotta check that out.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, because I have not seen hardware yet.
Sean, have you seen hardware?
No, I haven't. Sounds interesting.
It's really fun.
This fucking robot is it's tearing out William Hootkin's eyes. It's getting guys chopped up indoors. It tries to sexually assault Stacey Travis with its drill dick. It gives no shits.
Yep.
No shits are given. It's an awesome movie. But I've kind of rambled on there a bit. Sean, is there anything you want to bring up? Is there any questions you'd like to gauge? Because
I want to give honorable mention to the gunslinger in Westworld.
Oh,
that's a good choice. That's a really good choice.
Yes.
1973. Love that movie. I feel like that's kind of, almost like precursor to the Terminator.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good choice.
Well, Sean, have you any other questions or anything you want to gauge with people? I know Ethel might have one or two, but if there's anything you want to do first off.
Seems like we didn't talk enough about aliens. Because to me, that's the ultimate sci-fi horror movie for me personally.
No, we went over Alien,
I
we
don't
went
know
over
what to say.
Aliens, we went over Alien Resurrection, we ignored Alien 3 because that movie didn't happen because it's terrible. So we went over pretty much everything, and we didn't
Excuse me?
acknowledge the prequels because they're terrible as well.
Excuse me.
Marty might think differently.
What, you don't like Prometheus? Why is
No,
everyone don't
I-
like Prometheus?
I don't like Prometheus, I don't like Alien Covenant, I don't like Alien 3.
Yeah. Well,
Why
I
don't you like Alien 3?
could understand Alien Covenant, but I did like Prometheus.
Nah,
Alien
it was
3
fine, but
kicked
the more I
arse.
said on it, it didn't work for me.
The cast in Alien 3 is fantastic. The fact
Yep.
that movie exists without a fucking script is fantastic. It's an
Is
awesome
miracle.
movie. It's an Umberto Eco story told in the future with like fucking Charles S. Dutton, Rock. He's fucking he
Rock.
kicks ass.
I mean, my whole thing with Alien 3 is the fact what they did with Newt.
Hicks and Newt.
Hicks and Newt. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I that. I mean, it's an okay horror picture, and just like I said, Charles S. Dutton was good in the picture. I just didn't like what they did with Hicks and Newt. I mean, you know, after the great ending of Aliens, and then you do that to those two characters. I mean, that's just as bad as what Resurrection did to H2O.
Yeah,
Yeah.
True.
you do bring up a good
Also,
point.
is it supposed to be? Is it kind of common occurrence if you have a horror movie with the word resurrection in it, it's going to be shite. Alien Resurrection, Halloween Resurrection,
Alien Resurrection.
I mean, honestly, might be a hot take. I think Alien Resurrection's better than Alien 3 or Prometheus or Alien Covenant, honestly.
You just always have to be that.
Again,
I
I
agree,
love
actually.
Sigourney
I
Weaver
have to
shooting
agree with
hoops,
that.
man. I could watch a whole movie of
Okay.
Sigourney Weaver shooting hoops.
Jen, get rid of that fucking child or we're done. That's all I'm going to say.
At least it's fun.
Yeah, see, it's a fun movie. That's what I mean. It's fun, whereas Alien 3
So
bores
is
me to
Alien
tears.
3.
No, Alien 3. The only bits I like in Alien 3, I like the scene with her and Bishop, and I like the ending with her falling into like the molten metal. I like those. That's about all I like about Alien 3. I
You
acknowledge
like
it's a
the
miracle that
sequence.
movie got made, but I don't like it. It bores me to tears.
But Alien 3 was going for a more somber gothic feel. I think that's
Yeah.
why, like,
It's a
That's
gothic
one-
horror.
that's
Oh, yeah.
that's why they killed off Newt. That's why they killed off Newt and Hicks. Is because you're
Yeah.
supposed to feel that. You're supposed to feel sad, upset that they're gone, like, because that's what Ripley's feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I got that aspect of it. I said, "Oh, they're going with the gothic route." No, okay, well, no, all right, I can get that, but
Yeah, I like that idea.
Like, is it
I like-
a perfect
I like-
execution? No, but I
No.
mean, it's. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take Alien 3 over Prometheus or Alien Covenant any day.
Yeah.
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 It definitely went for a darker tone, trying to be like more sci-fi horror, like the original.
Yeah.
Like I would have been interested to see David Tui's one. We did get to see it in a different form, but Tui actually had Hicks come back, and Hicks is captured by Weyland-Yutani and put on board a military prisoner transport, and they're told they're going to the alien homeworld as bait so they can get infected. And there's no sunlight, so all the characters have their eyes refitted so they can see in the dark. And the ship ends up being hit by asteroids and gets stuck on the planet. And Tui was like, the producers was like, no, that'll cost too much money. And Tui was like, fine, fuck it, I'll make the movie myself. And that's how we got Pitch Black.
I was about to say, that's the plot of Pitch Black.
Yeah, oh man,
Yeah.
that's
Wow, interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Ethel, have you any interesting questions or things you want to bring up, or anything you think is we should be checking into or check out or worth looking at?
Often overlooked science fiction horror, and I don't know why it is, but it seems like it's overlooked. Maybe it's just me, but Life Force, guys.
Yes! I
Yeah,
love
Life
Life
Force is
Force.
awesome.
Yeah, no one talks.
Space
No one talks about.
vampires.
No one talks
Yeah.
about that film.
Yeah, they
Talk
don't.
to film.
Space vampires, man.
Toby Hooper.
Toby
Yes.
Hooper.
Why do you think?
Patrick Stewart.
What do you
Good
think
movie, man.
makes Life Force so good, Ethel?
I think it's a blend. Like you've got great actors in it. You got Patrick Stewart in there. You got the debut of Matilda May, who does a pretty good job. Former ballerina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And you've got some of the best animatronics that I've seen in a film in that era. Like it's awesome. It's fucking awesome.
John Dykstra done the puppet work, and if I'm not mistaken, he also done Yoda, and he says he actually preferred the work he did
On Life Force.
And
when he
Life
did
Force.
taking Yoda.
No kidding.
And
Right.
another fun fact, you probably already know this. Patrick Stewart came out and said his first ever movie kiss was with Steve Railsback.
With Steve Railsback. Yep.
Sean, what do you think of Life Force?
I liked it a lot. It's actually got like really good effects, you know.
Yeah.
It does.
The space scenes, especially like the opening, I thought was really cool.
I'm glad.
And
as
yeah,
well
we
they done
can't
the-
beat a naked vampire woman walking around picking people off one by one.
It is kind of, it's weird, it's cheesy, but it's also kind of cool. It's like if you mixed Hammer horror with sci-fi. Some
Yeah.
aspects, I think.
And
I can see
I
that.
like how they use two different genres and they fuse them together perfectly because not only is it a science fiction film with aliens and the government, but you've also got vampires, guys. Vampires.
Yeah.
How can you love that? Love that they integrate vampires into it. And like the comet comes around every 2,000 years, 100 years, or whatever, and that coincides with all the vampire stuff on Earth. I mean, what a great concept. What a great concept.
Yeah. Monty, what's your thoughts on Life Force?
I enjoyed Life Force. It's a different take on the vampire mythos. You got vampires coming from space. They suck your life force out. I thought the animatronics were excellent. Seeing them bring the guy over and suck his life force back out. I also like when they don't feed for a minute time, they disintegrate.
Yep.
Almost better than the vampires do on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and in Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just the dust goes everywhere.
The dust goes everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. So it was definitely a different version of vampires. I enjoyed the movie. You know, I wish it get some of the respect that it doesn't get.
I think it was part of a 3-picture deal that Cooper done with Canon. There was Texas Chainsaw 2, there was that, and there was Invaders from Mars.
Invaders from Mars.
I was gonna mention that. That's sci-fi horror right there.
Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on Life Force?
I always like when people are talking Toby Hooper. I always wonder why that one's not included in the
Yeah,
conversation.
it's-
Like I know it's not maybe as iconic as Texas,
Well,
but
like Hooper's whole filmography is kind of like that of basically it's either Poltergeist or CCM
or Funhouse.
and other movies nobody really talks about. They've all
Yeah.
become super forgotten, sadly, and all of them are pretty damn good.
Yeah, they are. I don't know why though that one is, and like everyone has said, space vampires. I mean,
Naked space
Naked.
vampires played by Russian ballerinas.
yeah, exactly. Like you would think at least the men would be
The
all
best
about
type of
this.
woman.
I mean, you do
very
have
good,
you do have a couple of men vampires that are naked, Jen.
Yep, you have the men. You have men vampires too.
Yeah, but I feel that the
They
women,
just aren't exploited nearly as much as the woman because it was canon. It was the 80s.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like they're not as exploited, and that makes Jen very
We
sad.
need space vampire Wang, damn it.
Yes, we do. So
This
yeah.
movie
Hey, we
needed
do get
space
full
vampires.
front.
We do.
Yeah.
We did get full front from them. So you know,
We do.
we did.
Well,
we
we
did.
didn't
needed
get enough.
more.
We
We needed
needed
more
more.
full frontal space vampire Wang.
Yeah, because you know, a good piece of wood is a horrible thing to
I
waste.
think you broke Sean.
Yeah.
Christian,
Yes?
you're gonna have to put your mother up for adoption, or we can go on.
It's your turn now.
Marty, you said you'd give me a home.
I got a good one. Would you move to America or Jen move to Ireland?
I'd probably try and live with Jen for a while, but the heat would literally kill me. I'd literally fucking die. Like, from what Jen tells me, it's like living on the surface of the sun. Just like, no way.
And Marty says there's a lot of rain, so I actually think Ireland might be the place for us.
No jumping in fucking puddles. It'll take more than 2 minutes to dry off than where you live. It's fucking Jesus Christ. But yeah,
oh, just don't visit the moor, so you might run into a werewolf.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping I will.
And you gotta watch out for leprechauns and rawhead Rex.
Yeah,
and rawhead Rex.
I'm gonna eat
There's
you.
a couple-
God damn it.
There's a couple other science fiction horror movies we probably should mention, even if briefly. You kind of got to mention Critters, and you got to mention Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Critters!
Oh yes.
Critters!
I love Critters.
Critters is a classic.
They're so cute.
yeah, okay.
No.
The first two movies were fine. Then they had to send the critters in space again.
I'm with you,
What
Monty.
about the show? What about the Shutter? Well, it's
The-
not a show, but the movie.
Yeah, there's only Monty. There's only one bad Critters movie, and that was the most recent one. And the other ones are really good.
Yeah,
wait,
Gilbert
you're saying the one
Gottfried.
with Leonardo DiCaprio was good?
Okay, it's not
That was
good, but
three.
it's
That
fun.
was three, right?
Fun.
That was three. Yeah, three.
That was
And
three, yeah.
I will firmly stand by that. Critters 1 and 2 are like kind of gems of the 80s.
Yeah. Power
Yeah.
of the night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Critters 1 and 2, and I really
Is it
like
two when is it two when they all gather up and they're rolling in the street?
in the ball.
and
Yeah,
they
that's
figure-
part
Yeah,
two.
the ball. Yeah, that's part 2.
Critters 2, one of the only
That's
Easter horror films.
Yeah,
One of the-
it's an
yeah, one
Easter
of-
tradition. You have
Yep,
to watch
one
it.
of the- one of the only Easter horror films.
And they're just so
actually
goddamn
remember.
cute.
Well, one thing I remember, Ethel, is what the bounty hunter that can't decide on what he wants to look like. He ends up looking like the centerfold of the Playboy.
Yep.
And he replicates even the staple.
He has the They have the staples in them.
Kill more kites.
It's what a fun movie. What a fun movie. You can't kick it out of bed for eating crackers. You know, it's fun.
Exactly.
No,
It's fun. I'll give you that.
What else have you got on the list? Before we
I
round
got-
up, is there anything else?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. More of a comedy,
Oh,
but
man,
still
that's
horror
classic.
classic. You
My
know, and
little
that's
guy loves that movie.
it's okay.
like Critters. You got more of the Chiodo brothers prop work in there.
Yeah.
Chiodo Brothers kick arse. There's supposed to be a sequel in the works.
Yep.
But
I thought they were trying to do a remake.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
That's what I heard. I thought they were trying to
Changes,
get
like every day.
Love
I
when
hope
the
it-
clown uses the guy as a puppet and stuff.
the
What
bit
a
where
great concept.
the bikers knock over the clown's tricycle. What you gonna do? Knock my block off! And he fucking punches the head into the bin. And one of the gang members is like, "Oh damn!" It's a fucking great scene. Sorry,
Those
I
clowns
said
are creepy though, man.
Oh
Clowns
yeah,
are
no,
meant to
it's,
be-
They never say anything. They're just like creepy.
they got the popcorn guns. No, it's great. It's good fun.
Mhm.
It is.
Fun horror.
All right.
I got a few on the list. Did you want me to just go through them and like you guys you like what you like? You pick it out, talk about it, or what?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
All right, so like I'd be lax in my duties if I did not mention at least one Corman film. So I got Galaxy of Terror on here.
Oh
I don't-
yeah,
yep.
definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Didn't
It is
Sid
awesome.
Haig say he didn't want? Corman wanted Sid Haig to speak, but he was like, "No, I'll only do it if you let my character not say anything." And I think he got him. He made him say one line. What was it? I live and I die by the crystal. That was
Yep.
it, and it was just shit line. It was like that meant nothing, like, you know.
Nope.
You know, so
It's
I
not
got
a-
that on the list. Also, I had to put the Reanimator series on the list because that's science
yeah.
fiction and
Yes, it is.
Yes. Mhm.
You'd say that, yeah.
And
Gotta have it.
penises.
And rats with penises on them.
Rats
Zombies with reanimated penises on them.
Yay!
You got
Again,
you got
a good piece of hardwood is a shame to waste.
Like, as bad as or not as not great of a movie as Beyond Reanimator is, it does have possibly the greatest closing credits in any movie ever.
Yeah.
I'd second that. That
Yep.
was like not expecting that. Especially that was a Sci-Fi Channel movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I didn't expect them to go that distance, but they did.
Yep.
I always feel
Yeah.
like the Bride Reanimator gets overlooked a lot.
It does. It's really good.
I love when she pulls out her heart. Is this what you
What you
want?
want?
This is what you want. Pulls out a heart.
That's some awesome practical effects there.
It's a romantic scene, too. It's such a romantic scene.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you planning if we get married? What the fuck are you planning for our wedding?
She might take out your heart, Marty.
I mean, I know what I'm planning.
The first person. I've
She's
had
gonna be the
actually had
bride of
surgery on my heart,
Reanimator.
so she wouldn't be the first.
I mean, I know what I'm planning for you two's wedding.
Why am I fucking worried with that fucking tone?
You should be. Oh no, it's fine. It's just
Marty, we're just going to elope. Let's just face it. Let's just elope.
I'll do it at the courthouse.
So we also got on my list here more recent film, guys, or maybe not. Maybe that just makes me look old. But The Faculty.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good one.
yeah.
I always forget they're aliens.
That one I got to see in the theater. I got to see
Yes.
that in the theater with some friends. It's an interesting premise. It kind of was like doing a cool '90s twist, like with cool
It
teens.
was kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers '90s
Yeah,
edition
kinda,
Basically.
with attitude.
It's like a Scream version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
bad
there's there's a bit of the thing shown in there for good measure when
True,
Famke
yeah.
Janssen gets decapitated, her head scuttles away.
Yeah, and they have the test. You know, you got to snort the pen full of no-dos. So that's
Yep.
always fun.
Uh,
So I had that on the list. Obviously, we already talked about The Fly. Already talked about Aliens, Predator franchise, Species.
no.
Other-
Species.
So,
Yeah. First
not bad.
one
I thought the
first one was
was
very
alright.
good. Yeah, first one's very good. The second one, well.
Species
I won't
3.
I won't talk about Species 3 or 4.
Species
Yeah.
3.
It
Anyone?
was let's just say. it
What do
was
you
a
have to
series
say
of
about
diminishing
Species?
returns?
Oh, it's garbage.
like I said, we don't talk about Species 3 or 4.
But don't men like them for obvious reasons? Like,
No.
don't men?
No,
No,
no.
no.
They did
really
get
no.
Natasha Henstridge back for like 10 minutes. So they
Yeah.
had her for
Yeah.
10 minutes. They tried. They failed, but they tried.
Yeah, they're actually trying to do a remake of Species 2. But I don't know.
Why?
Because that's what Hollywood does. They
Yeah,
make
fair
remakes.
enough.
Of
Just make-
Species
no.
2?
No,
Yeah.
okay,
Or
no.
Species 1.
Here's what you do. You just call it Species, and and you bring Natasha Hendricks back, and it's just a spiritual sequel again, and it's about like the kid of this. It's like about her kid and the one dude from the movie. They're alien baby, and they find out they're an alien. That's what you do.
No, see, no, I think Jen would love this idea. We do a gender swap, and the alien is a male.
Ooh,
I would actually like that idea, honestly.
I'm down for
So
that.
I would be
That's
down.
what you think.
Yeah, I'd be down for that, honestly.
You're watching that movie on your own. You're watching that fucking movie on your own.
No, we'll watch it as a couples movie.
I mean, that's what they're doing. They're doing gender swaps. So do a gender swap of species.
Yeah,
Why not?
exactly.
Why not?
Why not?
So like I had that on the list. I also had Mimic, guys. I had the Mimic franchise because that's science fiction and horror right there.
Only the first one was good.
Kind of creature feature too.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Bad on there. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about Mimic, guys. You got anything more to say about Mimic?
No.
Del Toro had a much different version of that movie. It was supposed to be like a modern fairy tale.
Yep.
But the studio was like, make it like Aliens. And he's like, no, I don't want to make it like Aliens. Make it like Aliens, or you won't have enough money to pay the cartel to get your dad back. You know about that, right? You know, his father was kidnapped by the cartel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was Jim Cameron heard about it, and he's like, here's the fucking money. I love your work. Just fucking get your dad back. And I think he gave him his notebook. But yeah, no, very different from what Del Toro had originally intended on making.
I had that on the list. I also I had a couple sequels on the list. We already mentioned Hellraiser in space there, Hellraiser 4. But I had Jason X in here, and I got Leprechaun 4 in here.
Yes!
That's
Yes!
Christian's favorite.
Yes, Christian's favorite. You just made Christian a happy man.
No, that's not my favorite. That's someone else's favorite right here.
Oh.
Marty, what do you think of Leprechaun 4? How accurate to Leprechaun lore is it? How accurate to Irish lore is Leprechaun 4?
Marty, don't worry. I found the perfect, nice Christian couple that, raised the boy right to adopt him.
Dude, I'm going to send you a box of tarantulas for Christmas.
How can anyone not like Leprechaun 4?
Come on, he grows into a giant and stomps around the ship.
He has a
He comes out of
lightsaber
guy's
battle.
dick. He comes out of guy's dick.
He comes out of a guy's dick.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
The way everything should come. Get it? Everything should come.
What is with this stream and the constant talking of dick?
Because I'm on it.
Even for us, that's like the
I
6th
blame
or
your mother.
7th time.
It's on your mother.
I'm beginning to think that sci-fi writers are just perverts.
It gave us
Some of them probably are.
it gave us Dr. Mitten Spider. How can you not love a film that gives you Dr. Mitten Spider?
Exactly. Exactly.
Fucking wonderful. Just bring a tear to my eye. Wonderful. But also we talked about the Fly. Had that on here. Deep Star 6 and Leviathan had to have those on there. And horror.
I like both of those films.
Yep.
I prefer Leviathan right up
Me
until
too.
the last 5 minutes because poor Ernie Hudson.
I know, yeah.
Come on.
That's the only thing
Yeah.
I didn't. That's the only thing I didn't like about Leviathan. He survives the whole thing, and God
And then-
damn it, another black guy dies.
The cheapest death in a horror movie.
Oh, you think he's home free?
Yeah. Well, they don't even give him like this ceremonious, like cool death or anything. It's just, we're fine, and then the monster's like, wait, black person, kill him.
At least
so
LL Cool J survived in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
H2O. Halloween H2O.
Oh,
Deep
oh
Blue
yeah, he
Sea
did
also,
survive.
by the way.
Busta Rhymes survived Halloween Resurrection through the power of Kung Fu. Just gotta insert that in. There's my quota of mentioning Kung Fu Busta Rhymes for the stream.
Christian,
Gotta do it every time.
He turns up. Are you still hoping he turns up in Halloween Kills?
Yes,
today?
I still stand by. I will not like Halloween Kills unless there's a scene of Busta Rhymes running a dojo.
Flip mode, man. That was flip mode. We always hear about it. That's what it was.
Mode Squad.
Zimbo Squad.
So I had that on there. I got had Deep Blue Sea on there as well because that is
Of
science
course.
fiction and horror. You got genetically modified sharks, smart sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart Sharks. Yes.
Smart.
Gotta love it. And I got Spear on there, even though that's more of a science fiction than a horror. It does have a couple horror elements in it, you know. So, but yeah, those were the big ones I wanted to hit.
Very good ones. Good picks.
Yeah, those some good
Any-
picks.
Any of you guys see I Am Mother? on Netflix.
I saw
2019.
I Am Mother when it first came out.
Hilary Swank.
Oh yeah, I remember
It's a
that
good
movie
movie,
happening,
man.
and I
Yeah.
didn't
It's,
care.
it's,
Yeah,
it's very Isaac Asimov. It's very
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
It's interesting.
it's
Um,
interesting
The
setup.
future, a little girl gets raised by the robot, and then
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't care. This is literally the first. This is the first time I've thought about that movie since the day it came out.
Actually, guys, Full Moon also said a really cool one that's always overlooked. Cube.
I
Yeah.
love Cube.
Oh yeah, Cube,
I
yes.
love Cube. Cube is
Mhm.
one of my favorite horror films of the '90s.
Why?
I just love the whole setup and the whole vibe. I love all the rooms. I'm honestly I'm sure it's not going to turn out that great, but I'm kind of looking forward to the remake.
There's a remake?
There's
Yes,
going to be a Japanese remake of Cube. It's coming out
Yes.
sometime this year. The trailer kind of looks okay.
Okay.
Also, the creator Cube went on to make a movie that I absolutely adore, but a lot of people don't like. Splice.
Yes,
Oh, Splice was
Ugh.
good.
Splice
Yeah.
is fun.
it's interesting.
Splice was good.
A lot
I
of
don't
people
know.
are like, go on, Ethel?
I don't know, that bit where she's like gonna do her father's kind of fucked up. I'm that's where it kind of loses me. I'm like, oh.
I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've been
okay.
little lab creations, and then that we can shift between gender. Or we're gonna go fuck our dad, and then fuck his girlfriend as a male alien.
Ethel. Look,
Beautiful,
if
man.
Woody Allen can do it.
Yeah, see, Woody Allen does that shit. He gets Oscars. When the monster from Splice does it, they get judged.
It was sort of like a science fiction take on his Woody Allen's biography right there.
Basically, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Soon Yi.
Oh man.
Dear God.
Well, if
What about in From Beyond when Barbara Crampton gets dressed in the bondage?
Oh God damn it! The
suit,
dominatrix outfit.
basically rapes.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's not
While
what
he's
bothers
sleeping.
me, right? What bothers me is he's hairless and covered in acid burns.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hey, that's hot.
You
Don't
know-
kink, Marty. Don't kink shame.
And really, guys, could Barbara Crampton really rape any guy?
Dear God.
Because, she's Barbara fucking Crampton. Are any of you guys going to say no? I think not.
okay, I look.
Good point.
On any other day of the week, no. But if I was suffering if I had actually been set in fire, right, Jane, I was convalescing in the hospital, and you're like, well, he's there, it's up, I'll hop on. I would be like, get the fuck off. Get the fuck. I'm in pain, woman. Get off me.
See, I'd cover myself in Neosporin or something.
Oh man. Yeah.
See, I think about you.
You get the arrow going.
Yeah. Oh dear.
See, and there's one sci-fi horror picture you guys have not mentioned yet, and I actually saw it for this stream, and that's the British sci-fi horror film Extra.
Ah, yes.
Oh, Extra's
Yeah.
fun. Extra's weird as shit.
Weird.
That movie's bizarre.
Dude gets kidnapped by aliens. He comes back 3 years later. I'm coming back for my son. Oh man! And that birth scene was decent.
Jesus Christ.
That movie's.
That movie's insane.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Where your man's like fucking. It's obvious that it's someone in a fucking suit who's double jointed and the car passes by. And imagine seeing that fucking tin on the side of the road. I'd be flooring it. I'd be like, the fuck is that? Right. But
Yeah, sorry, John. I did not like the other two sequels.
Wait, there are sequels to Extro?
Yeah, there's
I
Extra
didn't
2
know
and
that.
Extra 3, but they have nothing to do with the first one.
Why are there sequels to Extro?
Because that's what Hollywood
It
does.
does.
Baron, did they make money?
No,
Why?
they were direct-to-videos.
Okay, sure, why not? Okay.
I'm kind of with Christian. I'm like, who the fuck is foaming at the mouth for a fucking
Was there that
extra
many
movie?
unanswered questions at the end of Extra? Was there that big of a demand for sequels?
Yeah, because the movie is. I mean, put it this way. It does. When at the end of the movie is that after the guy takes his son in the spaceship and they leave off, the wife goes back into the house, and then we have the eggs that the son left there, and unfortunately it opens up, and the almost like kind of an alien callback. You got like a half of a face sucker on her whatchamacallit, and the scene goes to black.
But are Extra 2 or 3 about that?
No,
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Because like when I went to the video store and I saw the Extra 2, wow, this is a sequel. And I looked at, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with the first movie.
Wait a minute, this is Mac and Me.
That can be.
Now there's a fucking sci-fi horror.
I was gonna mention it.
His-
Oh,
his-
I love Mac
his
and Me. That
parents-
movie's better than E.T.
The poor man
I-
E.T. Yeah.
No,
I feel
no,
very
not a poor man.
fucking-
E.T. No, E.T. is a poor man's Mac and Me.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the ET porno. I got
No,
real
we're
excited.
not talking about E.T. porn. That's for you
See,
and Marty.
Here's the funny thing. When my cousin and I and his cousin, we went to go see E.T. in the movie theater, and then when E.T. died and he's all white, me and my cousin were cracking the hell up laughing. We almost got kicked out of the movie theater because people were pissed off because everyone's busy boo-hoo crying because they think E.T.'s gonna die. I said, come on, man, it's a Steven Spielberg film. You're not gonna let E.T. die. So when E.T. comes back to life, everyone's cheering. Me and my cousin start booing.
See, this is why Mac and Me is a better movie, because they let things die in Mac and Me. That kid dies. Granted, he gets brought back, but that kid's dead for a good chunk of that movie. Awesome. He gets shot by the
They
cops.
showed a kid in a wheelchair. You gotta give them props for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man.
But
You guys didn't really mention the Blob.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Blob.
That's a
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The,
One of my favorite 80s movies.
the original and the remake.
Yeah, which one?
They're both good.
Both of them.
Oh, they're both. I mean, they're both good. Yeah.
Got
And there's
Steve McQueen.
Beware the
What a-
Blob. Remember
What I
that
got
one?
No.
Beware the Blob.
The Blob. It was actually originally called Son of
Blob.
Son of
Son
Blob.
of Blob.
Ethel, what were you saying about Steve McQueen?
Well, I said you got Steve McQueen as the oldest teenager ever. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
love it.
Like,
How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah. No, I love the Blob. 80s one is one of my favorite. Like, it's rivaling The Thing a lot of the times. It's like one of my favorite 80s.
You just love it because they kill a kid.
I mean, I do love it because they melt. They don't kill a kid. They melt
melt
the
it.
kid.
They
They
melt the
melt
kid.
that kid. But no, I just love the whole movie.
Yeah,
The thing I remember the most about it is fucking Captain Rape Wagon with his date rape booze full of fucking booze and shit. It's like, okay, this guy is a fucking sleazeball. He's like, here,
Yeah.
baby, here's a ring. And he opens up the boot and there's a fucking jar full of these fucking penny dimes
Rings.
for rings. He's like,
Yep.
what a fucking arsehole. And fucking Erica Lydiak just fucking folds inwards and starts devouring him. That's one great scene. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
John Steele, we have not mentioned Parasite with Demi Moore.
I've never seen that one.
I haven't
You never
seen that.
I don't
You
think
ever
I have
seen that
either.
one?
I've
Yeah,
seen
I,
Parasite from Bing Joon-ho. I can talk about that movie. That movie was fantastic.
Not really sci-fi though.
No, not sci-fi, but that movie was great.
no. There was a early '80s movie. I think it was Demi Moore's first film. It's called Parasite.
Was that movie in 3D actually, Monty?
It was in 3D. Yes, it was one of those 3D films. It was a pretty good. It was a pretty good horror picture.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. But you should check it out. You know, some little parasite thing. It grows and it starts eating people from the inside.
Ooh.
Okay, so this stream's to watch list are Extra 2 and 3 and Parasite. Good to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of these movies is going to be vastly superior.
Extra 2's high on the priorities.
Yep, very high, very high.
Guys, I'm going to go around real quick because I want to get your opinion on this. Sean, what do you think is the best remake of a 50s B movie done in the late 70s, early 80s?
Well, I've already talked about Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
So,
That's
cool
my
beans.
Personal favorite.
Cool. Ethel, what do you think is the best remake of a 50s B movie done in the 80s?
The Thing. I go with The Thing. John Carpenter's The
Yeah.
Thing.
Nice.
Monty,
The Thing.
Jane,
The Fly. Because of course.
Christian.
You're making me choose between like two of my favorite 80s movies.
Is this selfish choice?
I guess I'll go with The Thing, but goddamn it, I really love The Blob. But I'm gonna go with The Thing. I'm gonna go with The Thing.
I wouldn't say by a country mile I'd be the same, Christian. I go
Yeah.
with the thing, but it's just by a cusp it wins out.
Yeah. Also, Moon brings up a really good point. If it counts, I would also say Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's a great one.
Yeah.
Why haven't we talked about Little Shop of
It's
Horrors?
really not. It's only kind of sci-fi.
They come from. They're a mean
Yeah.
green
Mother
mother
from
from outer
outer
space.
space. I
A
know.
musical.
It's a musical, and I'm not into musicals.
I think
Well, you
it's
can
counts as
talk
sci-fi.
You could talk about the original one. That wasn't a musical.
That's true.
But that also wasn't sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. You got a plant that's eating people. What's more sci-fi than that?
Yeah,
Fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Eat me more. I love that.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Yeah.
You know, if you think about it, it's like a.
Oh my god.
Oh no, here we go again.
It's like a
I
vagina.
am so glad I picked the movie for this Saturday. So fucking glad.
See what you're in for, Marty?
You asked for it, Martin.
No. Look. That's fine. I'm
This is
an
what we're
emotional
dealing with.
sadist, and I'm an emotional sadist, and she's the perfect partner for me.
All of us had the
I
exact
still love
same
you.
And
I still love
I-
you, you fucking crazy New Mexican lady. Yeah.
I love you too.
She likes perverted puppets.
That's probably one of my favorite comments I've gotten in a long time, Sean, was yours. Good God, people. I loved your comment.
I don't know which was worse, watching the movie or the hangover I had after the fucking review.
When you guys gonna do Strokemon?
Strokemon! Strokemon!
We're not doing Strokemon. We're not doing Strokemon.
Everyone in the
Fucking
chat start chanting Strokemon. Strokemon.
And it's either me or the boy. You gotta make a choice.
You, darling, of course you.
I'm weirdly not surprised by this.
As anyone else any topics they want to bring up, or will I start rounding things up?
No, I think that's the only movie I want to talk was Extra, but that was it. I can't think of anything else right now.
Yeah, I think we'll round it up.
I have one more, actually. I have one final film, actually.
Go for it, Christian.
Go for it.
Okay, who has seen Death Machine?
Which one?
The one from the 90s with Brad Dourif. Maybe late 80s.
It was made.
That-
Yeah, no, it was 90s. It was the guy behind Blade and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It was his
Yeah,
first movie.
I think I might have seen it.
I love that movie. It's my favorite Brad Dourif performance because he's crazy and manic as shit, and I love that every single character is named after another famous horror director. Plus, it has the one time I can ever think of somebody was killed because they were overly tall, and I could relate by that because somebody conks their head on a low ceiling.
The other thing I liked, I was telling your mom about this as well. Richard Brake is in it as an executive.
Yes, he is.
And this one is like, look, this one's going to go to the newspapers about the killer robot, and your man goes, no, you can't. Look what happened to the last guy. He died of a shark attack in a fucking office building.
I love that line.
That is a great line.
Yeah,
I love Death
it's
Machine.
great. I feel bad because that guy's career was fucking basically destroyed by these extraordinary gentlemen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
He got in a fist fight with Connery as well.
Ooh.
Really?
And I'm pretty sure Alan Moore also wanted to beat the shit out of him.
But yeah, no, that's it's a kick-ass movie.
That's all.
Hey, Marty, I wanted to ask you one thing. So you don't consider Predator to be sci-fi horror?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder that too.
I do, but I think it's kind of like the way you guys look at Terminator. It's kind of like it's
a love story?
Sci-fi action.
No, he loves it, but
Yeah, no, you're right. It is a love story. It's a love story between fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and one dude.
Action Jackson.
Yes, Carl. Yeah, it's a love
Action
story
Jackson.
between them. Yeah, it's
That is the best. That is the best fucking hand greeting ever.
Yeah, no, you can't tell. You can't tell me they were there. Those two had a history. Those two had a history of a cold night in the trenches.
Or a hot night in the trenches. more
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Dylan, you son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch.
Well, I
Not you
kind of
pushing
see it
too
more
many
as an action,
pencils.
but yeah, it is. There is some like where they find the skinned corpses, or where like some of the kills come out of nowhere. Hawkins' death. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the new one that's coming out.
Me too.
It's Dan Trachtenberg, the guy behind 10 Cloverfield Lane, and it's set in pre-colonial America. So, and I was chatting to someone. There's supposed to be a really cool set piece, and I don't know if guys, do you want to know what's the kind of cool thing they're planning on having in the movie? Or will I leave it as a surprise?
Leave it a surprise.
Surprise me.
Cool beans. But I'm excited because we've never seen something like this before in a Predator movie. But yeah,
It's a penis.
Jesus Christ!
I finally get to see the Predator's penis.
Oh, I hope so.
Sean, what's next in the what's next for yourself?
I had to get one more in.
Oh, well, I'm going to be doing an episode of The Morbid Hour with Hellhound and Horror Fan 88, and we're going to have Deborah Voorhees on it.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, great to go.
Cool.
When's that going to be? When should people?
On the 19th of this month.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right,
Very
cool.
great, Sean.
that's good.
Cool beans.
Yeah, she's here. She's very nice. Because when I did her interview with her, and then of course we saw Brad did an interview with her. She's very nice. She loves the fans, and she really does her go out to make the fans happy, whatever she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah,
cool. I look forward to it.
I think she knows who butters her bread, so that's probably it as well.
Yeah.
Ethel, what's next on the agenda for you?
Well, next coming up, it's the return of Sci-Fi Sunday, all month, guys, and we've got a theme. We've got the dangerous world of the skies theme. So this Sunday, the 5th, we got Terror from the Skies. We're going to be talking about all the monsters that are flying and killing people, and just pillaging the skies, filling them with death. Terror of the skies.
Cool beans. Monty, what's next up, or what have you out at the moment you want people to check out? Or
Well, obviously my review of Candyman is up right now.
amazing.
Tomorrow I will be guest starring in a video collab I did with the Movie Bros, and we're going to be talking about one of Christian's favorite films, Scream 4.
You had me excited there for a moment, my friend. You hurt me. You hurt me deep. You hurt me deep down here, man. Right in my colon.
So I couldn't help it. I had to go there. So I'll be doing as they did a Scream Fest. The Movie Bros, Steven and Mike, they saw my Scream 4 review when I did the Scream series last year. They enjoyed it so much, so they asked me to come on and do Scream 4 with them. They have already done Scream 1, 2, and 3. I do Scream 4, and they're also doing Scream 5. So my video with them will appear on their channel tomorrow.
Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Sweet. Jen, Christian, what's out at the moment? What have you got in the pipeline?
Hold that thought. Moon, you motherfucker. Moon, you motherfucker, Moon. No, it's not. No, it's not, Moon. Anyway, what we're up to is...
What we are up to is, Saturday, myself and the Trash Picture Show we're going to be doing, and don't worry, guys, there's no porn in this one. Marty picked it. It is Samurai Cop, and it's going to be on Marty's channel, and it's going to be the Trash Fire Cinema, and they're always a lot of fun. Marty probably won't get drunk on this one.
You talking about Samurai Cop, the TV show?
No, the movie.
The movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay. Oh, okay. Because when I saw the thumbnail, I was thinking to myself, "Wait a minute, is he talking about the TV show or the movie?" I couldn't remember which one.
Movie.
The movie.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we're starting a new thing. In fact, we just dropped a video on it. We're doing a new thing where we're going to be reviewing every Tales from the Crypt episode through the whole series once a week. So that'll be something to kind of look forward to.
First episode dropped a couple hours ago.
Yeah. And that's about where we'll be dropping other videos, but we're working on a thing for October that's a pretty big project. So you might not see as many videos for the month of September, but we will be putting stuff out.
Their stuff will be coming out, yes.
Just a little slower, maybe.
Just a little less than usual because October project.
Big October project. So.
Massive.
30. Big, huge, throbbing, just rock hard.
Really,
aching.
It's only 31 medium projects, but
a 31-inch project.
Yes, a 31-inch project. Sure, it's very girthy. So, Marty, what are you doing?
Marty, you know this is not going to get monetized.
Monetized.
That's funny.
A long time ago.
That's funny that you think that, Monty.
I've a couple of figure reviews coming up in the pipeline, and I'll see. I might venture out to the cinema. I'm kind of hoping to get to see Dune when it comes out. It's coming out here a month before you guys get it, so looking forward to that. And
nice.
Yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to end it here, guys. But big thanks to the awesome folks who've been on the stream: Jen and Christian, Monty G, Sean Erskine, and the fantastic Ethel. And big thanks to everyone in the comments: Full Moon, You Kick Arse, John Steele, legend as always. Who else have we? We have DCN Campbell, legend. Frank Lannard, Sadie, aka Wabinosh, she was in the chat. And there was a couple other people as well. And the next, Sean, who's going to be hosting the next one? Or have we decided that yet?
We haven't really talked about it yet.
Well, keep an eye in the space. Anyway,
it's got to be a good one because we got to represent for Halloween time.
Definitely got to represent for Halloween time.
My favorite topic. Yay!
So keep an eye on Sean Erskine's channel because he always has a good plug for the next Horror Hangouts. And have a good one. Take care. Bye now, guys.
Nice.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Hey.